And when I moved here, I was thinking about buying new furniture, and I was like, well, I really don't want to spend that much on it. And it's all cheap stuff. So I just painted it. I painted it black, and it looks great. But like I said, then I had this water leak last year or this summer, over the summer, and it ruined the one bottom part of the dresser. So now I need to get a one. But I was like, I didn't have any problem going to get a dresser, an old one. But then another thing is you got to wonder, like on Facebook Marketplace, you got to watch, because with a dresser, I would have to go look at it. I have to go into somebody's house, and you don't know who you're going to see. And that's kind of scary too. So I'm like, maybe I won't do that.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Something, and where I could just, I don't know, but yeah. And actually, I got an end table that my neighbor put out. It was this old varnished looking wood, and I painted it black, and it really looks expensive. But I kind of knew her, and she said, hey, you can have it if you want. It's nice. It's a nice piece. But yeah, I just feel like sometimes, because like that's another thing. And then didn't I tell you about the thing I brought home from work one time? It was like an artifact. Because like I said, I worked in a student center, so we had all kinds of stuff, art and stuff like that. But there was this one, she was made out of this really special wood. She was like a native, wasn't she, Austin? I can't really describe what she was. You saw her.
She was made out of African teak, and I think she was like a wood carving of a native from Africa, from some African country, but I forget where that came from. I want to say Zambia, maybe.
We don't even know, because
I forget.
I said, when we all started there, like my boss Gerald had started there, and it was there when he was there, and then so it ended up in this other older lady's office. She worked there for a while, and then she gave it to somebody else, and then it was in the center for a while, and nobody wanted it. It was just like, it was kind of, I thought, well, it's kind of a pretty piece. So I brought it home. But after I brought it home, all kinds of horrible things started happening. As soon as she hadn't been there, like, even 6 months, had she, Austin? And then your dad got sick. He passed away. Your nephew, my nephew got sick and passed away. And it was just, and she was I don't know. So I just took her back. I took her back to the center, and I set her, I didn't want her in the center where I worked. So I put her downstairs in this room. It's a student center, in this big room that people walked in. There's a fireplace. So I put her over there. But then the building manager, he was walking around, and he knew, he was like, where did this come from? And he looked at it, and so he's thinking, oh, this got to come from Diversity Affairs. It looks African art. So he brings it back up to our center, and I put it over like on like one of the shelves or something. And I was like, I don't like her. So there was a lady that worked upstairs, and I asked her, I was telling her I didn't like the thing, and she's like, oh, I'll take it. And she put it in her office for a while. And then I think eventually she took it home, and I don't know if she's had bad luck or not, but yeah, I know she's still alive. It's Rhonda, Austin, that has the bar. She has a bar, her and her husband now, but yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't really had the best of luck, seemingly, but some of that was their own doing.
Yeah, I don't know if she still has it. Maybe if she does, she should get rid of it.
I'm not gonna get into some stuff they've done to themselves.
No, but I told her, I don't know if I would. I told her, I said, I don't know if I would take it home. I said, because of all the stuff, and she's like, I'm not worried about it. So she had.
Didn't one of the students tell you that thing could be cursed or something?
Yeah, I think so. And they didn't even want it in the center. And she was, I don't know. And it was like nobody really wanted her. Like, they'd keep her in her office for a while, and then she'd be somewhere else. So, like I said, and I like some of that kind of art. I was going to keep her, and then I was like, and I put her picture, I think I put on Facebook one time, and some people were like, you need to get rid of that. You really do. I forget what somebody said to me. They thought it was some kind of ancient art or some kind of tribal thing. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a tribal. It was like a tribal sculpture.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I didn't do that anymore. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
When we were in New Orleans, we got some of the mask and some of they have those tribal masks and things like that. But Austin really didn't have any issues with them. But I think maybe your sister did. She did have.
I had a tribal mask with like horns on it.
Yeah. Oh, and your wife, you have it. You still have it, don't you?
I still have it. It's hanging upstairs in a room, but my wife's afraid of it.
Yeah, he has to keep it in a room that away from her. It's black.
It's like it's a dark brown it's a dark brown mask with that appears to have like carvings like a Pacific Islander kind of carvings on it, and it has horns.
Yeah,
She just gets really creepy vibes from it. No, I don't blame her.
Like that in the center, and it was pretty scary. But then they moved us from the building we were at, and we put it in a closet, and I think it ended up in an auction or something. But I never liked that one either, and it was similar to that. You know, like it was on this thing with this dried grass around it, and it was kind of. But
now my grandfather brought home. He was a Seabee in the Navy during World War II, and he was stationed in Borneo, New Guinea. He brought home an old wooden cup and a wooden comb that the natives over there used, and he brought another pole-looking object, but none of those appear to have been cursed.
But I thought your sister.
And she had some of them, and she got creeped out by them, and then just let me have them. That's why I've got them today. But I mean, as far as them being cursed, I don't know. But they did scare her.
You dirty dog!
I was just sitting here in silence. How was I echoing?
I am Satan.
I don't know if you guys have had anything personal happen. I think that's probably the only thing I've had happen with an object that I thought was kind of cursed or something. Maybe it was that whatever it was, like that piece from the African art piece. Yeah.
I was talking about those artifacts my grandfather brought back from World War II. The tribal looking wooden cup and then the tribal looking totem pole thing, and then there was another comb that like the natives had brought back from Borneo, New Guinea, but I don't know if those were cursed or anything. My sister used to have them, and then she just got really creeped out by them. But I don't know for sure if they were cursed. And then of course I had that mask I brought back from New Orleans years ago that looks kind of like a Pacific Islander mask. And then my wife got creeped out by that. And we did hear like weird noises over in the room I hung it up in, but I don't know if that mask has anything to do with it or not. Oh, when I lived at the old house, yeah. And so I didn't experience, I don't remember experiencing anything then. So it may have been the room itself in this house and maybe not the mask itself.
Right.
I'll have to take some pictures of that and some of those things and put them up on Discord for Roger and Mark to see. It's too bad you can't share pictures and stuff of things on YouTube, but
you can share them here.
Yeah.
I'd have to get out of this conversation. I'm just gonna stay put. Yeah. Yeah, I will share the pictures of them, but just not right this moment, because if I make one false move, the dominoes is this call is going to come crumbling down on me again.
Yeah, I don't know if you bring it on yourself, if you know about it. I didn't think anything of the artifact I had. I didn't know that she had any kind of history, and I don't know for sure. But I just didn't feel comfortable with her. So
I don't know. I would just say it's just coincidence. Me being quite skeptical as I am.
I mean, I know other people didn't want her around either, like the students, they're like, oh, why is she hip here? And then, they, like I said, my coworker finally took her, put her in her office. But
I mean, scientifically speaking, I guess something could, since everything's energy, I guess that something could get enough bad energy associated with it to where it could cause energy in its surrounding area to maybe create bad things.
Yeah, I was just saying, is there such thing as good and bad energy, or is energy just a neutral thing?
yeah. No, I mean, have you ever seen houses that never have it? They don't seem to have it, everybody that lives in them has bad luck, and you wonder, like, it's the house? It's not really the people. They go on to live somewhere else. So you wonder. I don't know. And what does the Chinese say, that the way you build a house and the way everything is
Feng shui.
Yeah, the way it's makes it so a home has either bad energy or good energy. So I don't know if it's neutral. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's neutral from its own standpoint, but from our standpoint, it creates bad things or positive things from our understanding. But in reality, it's just energy is energy, and it creates whatever it's exposed to.
I always feel like buildings have energy, homes and buildings. You can kind of go in and it has a certain, it's good or bad, or, sometimes. I've always felt that way.
Or like the I Ching. I read that. That's a form of divination.
Yeah. And then it's weird to me though, like I said, I lived in the old farmhouse for 30 years, and I always felt real comfortable there. And there was one room in particular I loved, but my daughter would have friends over. There was a couple of her friends that hated that room. There was one, he said he was never coming back because of that room. It was like a parlor. I used it as a garden room. But it's funny how different people feel about a place.
Well, that parlor was used. There was funerals held in that parlor.
Yeah.
So that could have had something to do with it. They were held there back in probably the late 1800s, very early 1900s.
Right. But I loved that room. I always thought it had good energy. So I think you did too, Austin, didn't you?
I was going to say there is a idea of sick building syndrome. I remember being in working in an office back in the late 1990s that was suffering from that, and the number of staff that just became ill and took off just because of so-called sick building syndrome.
Okay. So you think, was it like something that was going on in the building? Was like there was some toxic stuff, or